Hi friends, welcome back to another tarot-inspired yoga class. Today's tarot card of the day is the Ten of Cups, which is all about connection. So let me start off with just a little story. I've been off the yoga game for a couple of weeks. I was on vacation visiting my family. And I only get to see them about once a year because we live so far away, many states in between us. But traveling just makes me super nervous. Even if it's people I want to see, places I want to go, the travel aspect of it really gets in my head. So the lead up to this trip, all I could think about was, how much of a hassle it was. I have to get on a plane, be on a plane for so many hours, try to figure out what to pack and what I would need and what we would do when we get there. And so the entire lead up to this trip, which is supposed to be my vacation, by the way, my head was just full of all the anxiety of what if I forget something, what if something goes wrong, blah, 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 blah. That's what my anxious brain does. So I was not looking forward to going on this trip that I get to do once a year, people I get to see once a year. And it wasn't really until I got there, I got to my parents' house, got to see all my little nephews and my brothers and my grandparents, that was the moment when I went, oh yes, this is why I went through all the trouble of all the travel and planning and packing and all these little tiny annoyances. They really, none of them mattered once I got there, because of the connection that I felt with these people that I've known my entire life, these people that I've been connected with since childhood, and all the memories and fun times we have every time I see them and I'm in my childhood home. That is what really matters. So I think there's a lesson there that it's easy to forget the importance of connection with the people that we love and trust, the people that have been in our lives that have supported us and been there for us. It's easy to forget how important that connection is to our own happiness and to the happiness of our family and friends. With these past couple years with the pandemic, a lot of us have been kind of scattered. We haven't seen the same people that we might have normally seen a lot more often before the pandemic began. And when you get so used to being alone, I'm someone who loves my alone time, and it makes me happy to spend time with myself. But it's easy to get all wrapped up in that and how comfortable it is to be by yourself, where only you're making the choices. It doesn't affect anyone around you. That can feel really comfortable sometimes, especially for the introverted among us. So in today's class, we're going to be thinking about connection with people in particular, connection within ourselves, that strong, fiery glow of love and affection for those people in our lives that are important. And I just want you to remember to talk to those people in your lives who love you. Tell them you love them. Spend time with them as much as you can, because you never know how long they're going to be around. You never know when you might see them next, because nothing lasts forever. People aren't always around forever. So make sure you spend quality time and make memories with those people who are important to you. Not just family, but friends that are like family, neighbors that are like family, anyone who's important to you. So, how we can connect this to yoga. I'm sure many of you have a yoga community of your own that maybe you feel that love and affection for. You feel that connection through the love of yoga with these other yoga people. But if you don't have that yoga community, I want to encourage you to find one, whether that's online, like this, through YouTube. Feel free to come on over to my Instagram and we can chat, or in your own community in person or on an online yoga group. Any way you can connect to other people, because yoga is about connection. Yoga is about unity. And even though our personal physical practice is a very solitary one most of the time, the connection with other people is a big part of what yoga is about. Yoga isn't just about ourselves, but how we treat other people and how they treat us, right? Yoga is such a great way to connect. So if you're having trouble finding a yoga community, again, come on over to my Instagram. I'd love for you to be a part of that. We can chat about yoga, physical or non-physical. So yeah, 10 of Cups connection. We're going to get connected today, and we're going to focus our physical practice on opening up the shoulders, opening up into back bends, which is something I don't always do. Back bends can be really intense sometimes for me, so if that's you, don't worry, I'm right there with you. We're going to open ourselves up because sometimes it can be super vulnerable to get in those back bending, shoulder opening positions. We're so used to being crouched like this, maybe at a desk or in a chair all day at work. So we're going to open ourselves up to people around us, to our connection, to our yoga practice. So some props that you might like, definitely 2 blocks. You know I love those. For our peak pose, you might need a yoga strap. I highly recommend this, even if you don't normally use a yoga strap. If you don't have a strap, anything that you can make a loop like this will be perfect for later on. Definitely a blanket or a cushion or a yoga bolster like this. Anything that's a little soft. We might use that in the beginning in our warm up. So gather all the props that you might like to use today. All of them are optional. All of them are encouraged. So we're going to start with a little bit of a hold with a heart bench. So grab your 2 blocks or block-like objects and set them up about in this configuration. So this taller one here, we're going to use for our head, and this shorter one you can have it in this or even lower them down a little bit more to start off. A little bit higher for your head, a little bit shorter for your mid back. So probably right about here, right in the middle of the back is where we want that to land. And we're just going to lay back on our blocks and just hold for a few moments and breathe. Let the arms rest out to the sides. You can bend your knees up toward the sky, or straighten out the legs long, whichever feels more natural to you. Again, that lower block in the middle of your back, find a comfortable position for it. I usually place mine right underneath the shoulder blades, maybe where a bra strap would be, something like that. Find somewhere that feels tolerable to rest and close your eyes and just let your body sink onto these blocks. If it feels a little intense, that's okay. If there's any kind of pain, you definitely want to back off. If the blocks are a little too sharp in your back, you can grab a blanket, place it over the blocks, and then lay down on your blocks. So experiment a little bit. Find what feels comfortable and relaxing to you. Let the shoulders just drop open using gravity. Let the head rest gently. You can always lower your block down for even more of an opening sensation. And just take some gentle breaths in and out, letting gravity take over to open up the front of the chest. starting off nice and slow. Deepening the breath little by little. And maybe setting an intention for yourself for your physical yoga practice today. A good intention for our 10 of Cups practice could be connection. Could be opening yourself up to new people, new experiences, to being vulnerable. Because that's how we form connections with people, right? We find people we trust, we open ourselves up, we become vulnerable, and those people we trust feel comfortable in return to be vulnerable with us. Take 3 more deep breaths in and out. Really feeling that opening sensation in the front of the body. One more deep breath in. Deep breath out. Beautiful. Slowly open the eyes if you haven't already. Prop yourself up on your elbows to get you out of this position. Maybe grab on the outside of your yoga mat to kind of pull yourself up slowly and surely. All right, let's move those blocks out of the way. We're going to do a little bit of cat and cow just to get some movement in our spine before we get started. So tabletop position, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Inhale, arch the back, gaze forward, open up the shoulders. Exhale, tuck the tailbone round, press the back of the heart up towards the sky, tuck the chin towards chest. Inhale, arch the back, open up. Exhale, round and tuck everything in. Press the back of the heart up towards the sky. Inhale, open up. Exhale, round. Couple more times like this. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Beautiful. One more time each way. Inhale, arch. Exhale, round. Tuck it all in. And meet me back in neutral tabletop. Beautiful. I'm going to turn towards you. You can stay where you are or turn towards me. We're going to move towards gate pose. So, left knee is under the hip here. Extend the right foot out towards the side. Hands on the hips. Inhale, reach both arms up. Gather some length in the spine. Exhale, right hand down, resting gently on the thigh, and reach the left arm up and overhead for a nice side stretch in gate pose. Inhale, lengthen up and over towards the right. On the exhale, open the chest up just a little bit more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, open. Beautiful. Lift back up to center. Reach both arms up overhead. Inhale. Exhale, lower the left hand down to the mat. Reach the right arm up towards the sky. From here, you can kink the left ankle in just a little bit, just to give you more stability. And then slowly lift the right foot up towards the sky. One long line from the crown of the head all the way down to the outside edge of the right foot. Inhale. Exhale. Now you can stay here or bend through the right knee. Grab the right ankle if you can. And then press out through the top of the foot into the hand. Arch the back. Beautiful. Stretching out the front of the right shoulder, stretching out the back body, Getting a nice arch in the back. Inhale here. Exhale, let the foot go, kick it out. Back down to the mat. Lift up to center and draw the right knee in. Beautiful. Let's do that on the other side. So, right knee under the right hip. The left foot straight out to the side. Plant the left foot on the mat, hands on the hips. Inhale, reach up, gather some length. And on the exhale, slowly lower the left hand down, resting gently on the leg. Reach the right arm up and over towards the left. Get a nice stretch through the right side body here. Inhale, reach up and over, gather some length. On the exhale, open the shoulders up just slightly towards the right side of the room. Beautiful. Inhale, reach. Exhale, open the shoulders. Inhale, lift up towards center. Reach both arms up overhead. Inhale. Exhale, lower the right hand down to the mat. Reach the left arm up overhead. Take a moment here, feel the pose, press out through the hips. When you feel stable, you can kink the right ankle in just a little bit for stability and lift the left foot up off the mat. Beautiful. Hold here. Flex through that left foot, super strong left leg. Inhale. On the exhale, you can stay here if this is enough today, or bend through the left knee, grab onto the left ankle with the left hand. Kick the left foot into the hand, arch the back. Beautiful. Stretch through the front of that left shoulder. Get a nice arch in the back. Keep lifting that left knee up. Inhale. Exhale, let it go. Back where we came. Lower the left foot down. Lift up to center. Left knee back in. Beautiful. Sit down on the ankles. We're going to move to another warm-up called the King Arthur stretch. So I will demonstrate against the wall here. If you have not done this one before, it can be super intense. So find a wall, or if you don't have a wall, maybe a chair or a couch. I will show you why. We definitely want a cushion here, either a couple blankets stacked on top of each other, a bolster or a pillow, whatever you got. You want to scooch it as close as you can to the wall. We're going to lower our left knee onto the cushion, and the top of the left foot is kicking into the wall. So you can move as far away from the wall as you'd like for a little less intensity. The closer you move your knee to the wall, the more intense the stretch will be. So we're stretching out the front of the left hip, so the hip flexor and the entire quad all the way down. The right foot is just planted on the mat. Make sure you feel super balanced here. You can place the hands on the thigh, on your hips, whatever feels good. This is our King Arthur quad stretch. If you want a little bit more, if this doesn't feel super intense to you, which it does to me, so if this is enough, perfect. I'm staying right here. If you want a little bit more, just think about slight tuck in the tailbone. The slightest little bit of movement can make a huge difference in this pose. Can make it super intense. So just a slight tuck of the tailbone. What we don't want to do is let the tailbone go, stick the booty out, and lean forward like this. That is not the stretch we're going for here. So we want a 90-degree ankle in the right knee. We're sitting up nice and tall, tucking the tailbone just slightly, just a little bit, to get that front hip flexor involved. So we're just staying here. You can stay here super static, just feel the pose. If you want to wiggle left to right a little bit without falling over, just a little bit of wiggle left to right. Sometimes that can feel good. or swiveling the upper body left to right. Just get our inner hips involved a little bit. Otherwise, just breathe. Breathe through the pose. Draw the hips in towards center to feel super balanced. And I think we've had enough on this side, so slowly lower the hands down, move away from the wall, and just switch out the legs. So now our hips and our legs are different on each side, so feel free to adjust as needed. Might need to move closer to the wall, farther away, but the top of that right foot is against the wall. The right knee is down on the cushion. Slight tuck in the tailbone here. Plant that left foot down. Our left knee is in about a 90-degree angle. And just stand up nice and tall. Feel the front of that right hip flexor, that quad muscle. Keep that slight tuck in the tailbone. If it feels super intense, you are not alone. Just breathe through it. Or if it's too much, just move that cushion forward a little bit. Do what you need to do for you. If you're feeling super wobbly, just heel toe that left foot out to the left a little bit more. Give yourself a wider berth for the feet. It can give you more stability. If you need a little distraction, maybe wiggle the hips left to right. That can give you kind of a different kind of stretch. Or swivel the upper body to get the inner hips in there. Try to keep that left knee stable, otherwise you might go tumbling. Or just stay static in the pose. Feel the stretch. All right. I think our King Arthur is done. Slowly, slowly get up off that cushion, up off the wall, stand up, maybe shake the legs out a little bit. And beautiful. We're gonna do one more upper back opening stretch before we get into our flow. So this is for the mid back specifically. You're either going to be in tabletop position with the hands down on the mat, or for a little more intense, you can go down onto forearms. So either one is perfectly acceptable. What we're gonna do is left hand behind the head, draw the left elbow towards the right, and then inhale, open up towards the left side. You might not be able to open up all the way, that's okay. We're focusing on the mid back rotation here. Exhale, close it up, elbow to elbow. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. One more time. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Beautiful. Moving on to the other side. Again, forearms down or up on your hands, whichever feels better for you. Right hand behind the head. Draw the right elbow towards the left. Inhale, open up towards the right. Focusing on that mid-back rotation. Exhale, close it up, elbow to elbow. Inhale, open up. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. One more. Inhale, open up as much as you can. And close it up. Beautiful. Lift up out of the pose. Maybe fix your hair if you're like me. And then back to tabletop just so we can tuck our toes. Send the hips up and back for our first downward facing dog. Pedal out through the feet here. Warm up those hamstrings. You can send the hips towards the left, towards the right. Maybe shake the head yes, and shake the head no. Any little wiggles you like to do in your first downward dog. Bend and straighten the legs. And settle into your downward dog. Breathe for a moment. And tiptoe the feet slowly, slowly up to the front of the mat behind the hands. In a forward fold position, bend slightly through both knees, grab opposite elbows for ragdoll. Maybe sway left to right. Beautiful. Lower the hands to the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, press the palms together, and exhale, arms by the side in Tadasana, mountain pose. Beautiful. Now we're going to do a sun salutation to start our flow, but we're doing a sun salutation C, which you may or may not have seen before. Just a little different than sun A or sun B, which are the more common ones, but I like this one because it's different enough that it kind of challenges your memory a little bit. All right, we're going to add some back bending into it as well. So, clasp the thumbs together like so. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead, bend the knees, arch the back up. Press the chest up towards the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Clasp the hands together and press the palms. Press the back of the hands up towards the sky. Plant both hands down. Step the right foot back to a lunge. Lower the right knee. Anjaneyasana. Clasp the thumbs. Sink the hips forward. Lift the chest and arch the back. Just a little mini back bend here. Inhale. Exhale, lower the hands. Tuck the right toes. Send the left foot back, downward facing dog. Move forward, plank pose. Lower through your chaturanga, however you like to do it. Inhale, lift up, back bend, upward dog or cobra. And back up to downward facing dog. Take one inhale here. Exhale, move towards plank. Lower the knees to tabletop. Knees, chest, chin. Lower the chin down to the mat, the chest down. Keep the booty up. And roll forward to the belly. Hands out to the sides for spider fingers. Elbow tips up towards the sky. Plant the tops of the feet into the mat. Inhale, use the back body muscles to lift the chest up just slightly for cobra pose. And lower the chest back down. Plant the hands on the mat underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes. Send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Inhale, step the right foot forward to a lunge. Gaze forward, inhale. On the exhale, listen, step the left foot forward next to the right for forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, stay here. Lengthen the spine forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Clasp the thumbs together. Bend the knees, arch the back. Inhale, press the chest up towards the ceiling. And exhale, fold forward. Clasp the hands behind you. Lift the back of the hands up towards the sky. Forward fold. Lower the hands. This time step the left foot back to a lunge. Lower the left knee. Clasp the thumbs together. Lean forward into the pose, Anjaneyasana. Inhale, lift the chest. Arch the back. Slight back bend. Inhale, let the thumbs go. Lower the hands down. Tuck the left toes. Step back, downward facing dog. Back to our vinyasa. So move forward, plank pose. Exhale, lower through chaturanga. Inhale, lift up, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, move forward, plank. Lower both knees, chest, and then chin. Booty up towards the sky. Roll forward to the belly. Fingertips outside the mat, elbow tips up for spider fingers. Inhale, lift up, cobra pose. Exhale, lower down. Plant the hands under the shoulders, tuck the toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. One breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, step the left foot forward. Gaze forward. Now listen, step the right foot forward next to the left for forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, stay here. Lengthen the spine forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Hook the thumbs, bend the knees, and arch the back. We're going to go through both sides one more time. Sun salutation C. So inhale, press the chest up towards the sky. Arch the back. Exhale, fold forward, clasp the hands, reach them up, forward fold. Plant both hands, step back with the right foot to a lunge, lower the right knee, hook the thumbs, lean forward, Anjaneyasana. Slight back bend here, lift the chest up towards the sky, open the chest up. Exhale, lower the palms, step back, downward facing dog. Moving through our vinyasa. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower through chaturanga. Inhale, lift up to your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Move forward, plank. Lower the knees, chest and chin. Keep the booty lifted. And wiggle forward down to the belly. Fingertips on outside the mat. Elbow tips up, spider fingers. Inhale, use the back body to lift the chest up. Exhale, lower it down. Plant the hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes. Inhale, up and back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Step the right foot forward. Gaze forward in your lunge. Step the left foot forward to meet the right. Forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, stay here. Lengthen the spine forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Hook the thumbs. Bend the knees. Arch the back. One more time through on the left side. Inhale, press the chest up. Arch. Exhale, fold forward. Clasp the hands. Send them up. Forward fold. Lower the hands down. Send the left foot back behind you to a lunge. Lower the left knee. Anjaneyasana. Hook the thumbs. Lean forward. Arms overhead. Inhale. Draw the chest up towards the ceiling. Arch the back slightly. Exhale. Lower the hands. Step back. Downward facing dog. Move through vinyasa. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower chaturanga. Inhale, lift up, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Beautiful. Move forward to plank. Lower the knees, chest and chin. Wiggle forward down to the belly. Widen the feet. Hands in spider fingers, elbow tips up. Inhale, use the back body, lift up, arch the back. Exhale, lower down. Plant the hands, tuck the toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. One breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Step the left foot forward. Gaze forward in your lunge. Step the right foot forward to meet the left. Forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, stay here. Lengthen forward. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Press the palms together. And arms by the sides. Tadasana, mountain pose. Take a moment here to catch your breath. Maybe place one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Feel how your heart is beating. Feel how fast or slow your breaths are. Nothing is wrong or right here. We're just opening ourselves up to be vulnerable, to see where we are in our own bodies. There's no right or wrong way to breathe. There just is the breath. Beautiful. All right, thank you for going through those sun salutation C's. I've been wanting to do those. Now let's move on to our main flow, which I think is a little bit fun. We're going to add in some back bends and, of course, some little non-traditional flows. So starting in Tadasana at the top of the mat, inhale, reach the arms up overhead, bend through the elbows, draw the chest up towards the ceiling, draw the shoulder blades together, and draw them down the back. Maybe a little bit more intense of a back bend. Inhale, reach up, back to center. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, downward facing dog. From here, left foot up and back, toes point down. Exhale, knee to nose, step forward between the hands, moving towards warrior one. So walk the feet out onto train tracks, plant the left sole of the foot on the mat. Inhale, reach both arms up overhead. Bend through the elbows, open the wings, open the chest, draw the shoulder blades together, and then down the back. Beautiful, getting that super bend in. Now, lengthen the arms out, clasp the hands behind the back, draw the hands down, draw the shoulder blades together, moving towards humble warrior. So straighten through the right leg, gaze up, inhale, exhale, bend through the right knee, and bow forward. Now your hands and arms can stay glued to your back. That's perfectly fine. If you got super tight shoulders, that's enough. You can also draw the hands up for an extra intense shoulder blade stretch, but it's totally up to you. Take a moment to draw the left hip crease back and the right hip forward. Both hips even on the same plane. Keep drawing those hands down. Draw the shoulder blades together. From here, lift all the way up. Lift up onto the ball of the left foot. Keep the hands clasped together. You can stay here or grab opposite elbows if that feels better for you. Either way, moving towards warrior three. So from here, lean forward all the way into the right foot. Keep the hands clasped together. Keep the chest open and lift the left foot up off the mat. Left toes point down, super flexed in the left foot, super strong. Warrior three. Inhale. Exhale, lift up, draw the left knee up and forward. Unclasp the hands, reach them up. Kick the left foot forward, press the hands forward, and lower everything down. Beautiful. We're going to take a moment to set up our block on the right side for half moon pose. So the block for the right hand is about at least a foot in front of the right foot. So lower the right hand onto the block. Right toes point forward. You can keep a slight bend in the knee here. And then lift the left foot up off the mat. Turn the toes out towards the left. You can keep the left hand on the hip just for balance. And open the hips up towards the left side of the mat. Then maybe open the shoulders. Then maybe gaze to the left and lift the left arm up. Half moon pose. Sometimes a challenging balance pose. If you want to add a little back bend in here, you can move towards sugarcane pose. So you bend through the left knee, draw the left foot behind you and grab it with the left hand. I cannot do that on this side, but I will demonstrate on the other side. I just get a super intense cramp for some reason. All right, gaze down at the right hand. Lean back, land in warrior two. Sweep the left arm up and forward, lift up onto the ball of the left foot for high lunge pose. Maybe open up the wings, open the chest, draw the shoulder blades together, and down the back. Beautiful. Lift the arms back up and lower slowly down to a 90-90 lunge position. So 90 degrees in both knees here. Moving toward Anjaneyasana. Hook the thumbs. Lean forward into the hip stretch. Go as deep as you'd like here. Maybe wiggle a little bit through the hips. Unclasp the hands. Send the hips back to half splits. So straighten through the right leg, right toes up towards the ceiling. If you can't quite reach the ground, maybe grab blocks and place them under the hands. Inhale, lengthen forward, long spine. And exhale, fold. Draw the left hip crease back. Beautiful. From here, lift up to stand on the left knee. And just bring the right knee in and sit back on the heels. All right, we're gonna do a little fun half camel trick. I just feel like this one looks fun. So we know camel, as we're up on both knees, hands at the low back, and we just reach back and grab onto the heels. This can be super intense. So what we're doing is half camel. So we're sitting on our heels. I like to tuck my toes just to give myself an extra lift. You don't have to, it's totally up to you. We're just gonna grab onto the left heel with the left hand. We're gonna reach the right arm up. From here, keep the left hand on the left heel. Send the hips forward, gaze towards the left. So right arm is up overhead. We're just pressing the hips forward into a back bend on the left side. And then just lower it back down. Move to the other side. Right hand on the right heel. Reach the left arm up overhead. Lift the hips, press them forward. Gaze over the right shoulder. Left arm up overhead for a fun little half camel. And lower back the way you came. If that is just not working for you today, you always have the option of just placing your hand on your low back, sending the hips forward like so. Same deal, just maybe not as intense of a back bend. So you know your body, do what you gotta do. So let's do that one more time, just so we got it solid. Left side, left hand on left heel. Send the hips forward, reach the right arm up and over, gaze over the left shoulder. Lower back down, other side. Grab the right heel. Send the hips forward, left arm overhead, gaze over the right shoulder, and lower back down. Great job. Lower the hands to the mat, plant them down. If your toes aren't tucked, tuck them now. Lift up onto the feet, crawl the hands back into a standing forward fold at the back of the mat. Slowly roll up, one vertebrae at a time. Back up to standing. Reach both arms overhead. Cross the right ankle behind the left. And just spin. So now we're at the back of the mat, facing the back. Arms up overhead. And guess what? We're ready to do the other side. So let's do it. Bend through the elbows, open up the wings. Send the chest up towards the ceiling. Draw the shoulder blades together and down the back. Beautiful. Inhale, lift up. Fold forward over the legs. Inhale, lift up halfway. Gaze forward. Exhale, plant the hands. Step back. Downward facing dog, facing the back of the mat. Left side, inhale, left foot up and back, toes point down. Exhale, knee to nose, step forward, looking for warrior one. So walk the feet out onto train tracks, plant the left sole of the foot and right sole of the foot. Reach the arms up overhead, maybe open the wings, open the chest, shoulder blades together, and down the back. Inhale, lift back up. Clasp the hands behind you. Maybe the opposite clasp if you haven't done it yet. Straighten through the left leg. We're moving towards humble warrior. So from here, draw the hands down. Draw the shoulder blades together. Gaze up. Inhale, slight arch in the back. Exhale, humble warrior. Bend through the left knee. Fold forward over the left leg. You can keep the arms glued to the back if that feels better for you. Or you can intensify by drawing the hands up towards the ceiling. Think about drawing that left hip crease back, right hip crease forward. Let go of the neck, bow forward in your humble warrior. Inhale, lift back up to standing. Reach the, oh no, wait, keep the hands clasped, I already forgot. Moving towards warrior three. So lift up onto the ball of the right foot. Keep drawing the shoulder blades together, hands down the back. Lean forward. Lift the right foot up for warrior three. Right toes point down. Open the chest up towards the back of the mat. Flex through that right foot, super strong right leg. Inhale. Exhale, draw the right knee up and forward. Unclasp the hands. Reach them up. Kick the right foot forward. Press the hands forward. And lower everything down. Maybe shake it out. Grab your block for half moon pose on the left side. So again, your block is about maybe a foot in front of the left foot here. Bend through the left knee. Plant the left hand on the block. Right hand on the hip. So left toes point forward. Lift the right foot up. Turn the right toes out towards the right. Open the hips up towards the right. Maybe open the shoulders up towards the right. And reach the right arm up. Woo! If you fall out of this balance pose, perfectly natural. Just get right back into it. Make yourself vulnerable. Try something challenging and scary, and if you fail, it's okay. Just get right back into it. Flex through that back foot like you could kick through a wall. And if you'd like to try sugarcane pose, I will demonstrate on this side for you. So bend through the right knee. Grab onto the ankle or the top of the right foot with the right hand. Press out into the hand with the top of the right foot for sugarcane pose. Very similar to what we did on our knees at the beginning of class. And when you're done, let the right foot go. Back the way you came. Lean back. Land in warrior two. Great job, everybody. Sweep the right arm up and forward. Lift up onto the ball of the right foot. High lunge pose. From here, you can open up the wings once more. Lift back up. And slowly lower the right knee down into our 90-90 lunge. Beautiful. From here, Anjaneyasana. Clasp the thumbs. Sink the hips forward. Draw the chest up towards the ceiling. Shoulder blades together. Down the back. Nice back bend here in Anjaneyasana. Inhale, lift up. Moving back to half splits. So straighten through the left leg. Left toes point up. If you need your blocks, go ahead, grab them wherever they are. Place them under the hands and get back into your stretch. Stretching through those hammies. Inhale, lengthen the spine forward. Exhale, fold hold, let the head go. Bow down over the leg. Beautiful. Inhale, lift up, all the way up, and just draw the left knee in. Sit down on the heels. Move your blocks out of the way. We're going to do a couple of those half camel poses. So now we know what to do. We'll just do 2 on each side. So tuck the toes if that works for you. Gives you a little bit of lift. Right hand to right heel. Press the hips forward. Reach the left arm up overhead. Gaze over the right shoulder. And lower down. Other side. Left hand, left heel. Press them forward. Reach up and over. Nice back bend. Lower it down. One more each side. Right hand, right heel. Press the hips forward. Ooh, so beautiful. Lower back down. One more on the left side. Press the hips forward. I just feel so fancy. And lower back down. Beautiful. Plant the hands on the mat. Tuck the toes if you haven't already. Lift up to standing. Walk the hands back towards the feet. Forward fold. Slowly roll up through the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Reach the arms up overhead. Cross the right ankle behind the left. And boop, back to Tadasana at the front of the mat. Whoo, baby. I don't know about you, but my shoulders are open. My back is nice and flexible. Sometimes it feels good to just throw a bunch of back bends in there. You never know what you might need. Go ahead and grab a drink. I think we have deserved it. Readjust your clothes. Do whatever you need to do because we're moving to our peak pose, which is dancer's pose. This is a lovely one. I think it just looks so pretty. Good for pictures for sure. But there are sometimes some little tweaks you need to make it more of an authentic dancer's pose. And we are going to talk about that right now. So go ahead and take a seat or just watch me. I just want to demonstrate real quick what dancer's pose looks like if you haven't seen it. So we're facing forward. It is a balanced pose on one side, so be solid in the right foot. Bend through the left knee, and you're going to grab onto the front of the left foot or the ankle. Now there are different schools of thought grabbing from the outside of the foot. Some people like to grab on the inside of the foot. Grabbing on the inside of the foot definitely opens the shoulders more. So if that is something you struggle with, that could be good. It also might be super intense if you have more inflexible shoulders. Grabbing the outside of the foot is more comfortable for me personally, but there's also a chance of kind of rounding or dumping forward. So neither one is wrong or right. It's just preference and your own body what feels good. So grabbing either the outside or inside. I'm going to grab the outside because that is what feels good to me. Now, both of our hip points at the front of our hips are facing forward. There's sometimes a tendency as we kick the left foot back to open the hips, kind of like half moon pose or sugarcane pose. So that is not what we want. We don't want to open our hips. We want to keep both hips facing forward. So we're starting here with the left foot lifted. Reach the right arm up overhead. Here's our starting pose. This can be dancer's pose. If this feels like a challenge to you, either for balance or maybe just your flexibility, grabbing that back foot, working from here, that is dancer's pose. But to continue on to make it a little more intense, what the next step is pressing that top of the left foot into the left hand. So as you can see, as I press into it, you get into more of a back bend. The foot kicks back. Now, again, not opening the hips. Both hips are facing forward. We also want to keep the chest open and facing forward. So sometimes there's also the tendency of, as we push back with the foot, we kind of lean forward all the way like this, and our torso almost goes parallel. Right there, we're sacrificing the back bend a little bit. Not to say that that's wrong. If you want to do dancer's pose and you're not super into the back bend, I mean, go ahead and lean all the way forward. It's not traditional, but when are we traditional here, right? So if you're going for the more traditional dancer's pose, I'm never going to say anything is quote unquote wrong. It's only wrong if you are in physical pain, in my opinion. So the more traditional, right arm up, kicking back into that left hand. See how my torso stays upright as I keep kicking back and keeping both hips facing forward. Now, if you're not super flexible in the front of your quad or the front of your hip flexor, that can be a super challenge to keep the hips facing forward. So I do have a special tip with the strap. So whatever you're using for a strap, doesn't matter what it is, as long as you can make a loop like so that can go around your foot. So not a super big loop. You want it to be super secure so it doesn't fall off. This tip here I got right at the beginning when I was learning dancer's pose, and it was a super game changer. So this will help you keep the hips facing forward and just make it easier to kind of open up into that back bend. So we have our loop. It's right around the middle of our foot here. The other side is in our hand. So we're going to do just like before. We're going to lift the left foot up, bend through that left knee, and just kind of walk our hands up the strap. Our strap is over our left shoulder here. So see, it's just like grabbing the foot here, except we're grabbing it over our shoulder like this. So this is where we start. It's already a lot less pressure to keep it here, which is cool. And so we're grabbing the strap with both hands, and we're grabbing it up overhead this time. So instead of just the right hand up, both hands are up, both are on the strap. And from here, you can tug on that strap, not just tug on the strap, but also kick the left foot back. And just keep walking the hand up the strap and kicking the foot out. And as you can see, there's no way I can collapse my shoulders here. It's impossible because my shoulders are open over my head. So you can't collapse forward, and you can't really lean forward like that either. So it's a great way if you're struggling with dancer's pose, you're not sure where to start. This strap trick, oh boy, it's a game changer. So if you haven't already, please, please, please try this with and without a strap to see how it feels. Because they are kind of almost two different poses. They just feel completely different to me. And I'm a yoga nerd, so that is fascinating to me. How our bodies adapt when we add in props. So much fun. So I'm going to do this on the other side with the strap on my right foot. So if you want to follow along with me, please do. So strap is secure around my right foot. Grab the strap over the shoulder. Woo, get your balance. Super strong in that balancing left leg. So the strap is over the shoulder. Right knee is bent. We're grabbing onto the strap with both hands. Reach the strap up overhead. Kick the right foot out. And walk the hands up the strap. Go as far as feels good. We're not going into our deepest expression. Just seeing how it feels. This feels pretty fantastic to me, honestly. And then come back the way you came. Just let go of the strap and lower it down. So I am just going to do it out without the strap one more time, just to show you the difference. I'm sure it looks totally different in my body with the strap and without. That's okay. So it might feel that way to you too. So let's do on the right side. So no strap here, grabbing onto the outside or inside of the right foot, totally your preference. Keep some buoyancy in the standing leg here too. We don't want to lock out the knee. Keep some buoyancy. Left arm up overhead, right hand on the top of the foot or the ankle, and we're just going to kick back into the hand with the right foot. Lifting and kicking, keeping both hip points facing forward, and then slowly coming back the way we came. Beautiful. It is definitely more of a struggle to keep the hip points facing forward, not opening them up, and keeping the chest open. It's a challenging pose. So feel free to pause and play with that a few more times if you'd like. Otherwise, we are going to cool down because we've been doing quite a bit of work, haven't we? So let's go ahead and move down to child's pose. Our shoulders have been opening, our back has been arching. So let's do a little bit of a more neutral position. So reach the arms forward, or honestly, it might feel good to bring the arms alongside the legs, draw the knees in, and just bow the chest over the legs. If this doesn't feel comfortable because your boobs or your belly or whatever, your thighs are in the way, just widen them out and then fold forward. We are all about making room for our bodies. Just take a few breaths here, gentle rounding in the back. Take a few deep, gentle breaths. Beautiful. Plant the hands, slowly lift back up. We're gonna do quick eagle arms. Just sitting in hero's pose like so, or cross-legged if that's more comfortable for you. But we're just gonna kind of round our shoulders a bit. Might feel good after all that shoulder opening. So arms out to the side. Cross the right arm over the left. Elbows cross. From here you can either press the back of the hands together and just stay here. You can also do one of these, forearms together, palms together, if that feels better. The full expression would be crossing at the elbows and then crossing again so the palms are together. Think about opening the shoulder blades as far apart as they will go. So lift the elbows here, draw the shoulder blades away from each other. Inhale, maybe gaze up, and exhale, slowly fold, just slightly intensifying the stretch of the upper back. Oh, feels so good. Inhale, lift back up to center. Unwind the arms, reach them out. We'll go straight to the other side. So this time, left arm over right, cross at the elbows. Again, you can just press the forearms together. If this is enough, your shoulders are feeling a little too stretched. Or you can press the back of the palms together, or wind one more time so the palms are together like so. Draw the elbows up, gaze up, inhale, and exhale, slowly fold around the upper back. Think about pressing the back of the chest up, drawing the shoulder blades away from each other. Inhale, lift back up to center. Unwind the arms and lower them down. Beautiful. From here, we're going to do something called scapular push-ups. I know you don't typically think of push-ups during a cool down, but I promise this will feel good to get a little bit more mobility in our shoulder blades. So, moving towards a tabletop position, maybe a knees down plank position. So wrists aren't underneath the shoulders here, and our torso is in line with our upper legs. From here, we're going to just sag the shoulder blades together. So let me show you really quick. So we're like this. Look at my back, my upper back muscles. We're gonna just sink them together, drawing the shoulder blades together, letting gravity do the work. And then we're gonna press up and draw the shoulder blades away from each other. So drawing together, let gravity draw you down, and then press up with the hands, draw the shoulder blades back. So as you can see, it's not a typical push-up where you're bending your elbows. You're keeping your arms straight, just a slight bend in the elbows to keep them buoyant. And we're just gonna sag the shoulder blades together and then press them up and away from each other. 2 more times. Sag it down, draw them together, and press it up. Draw them away from each other. 1 more time. Shoulder blades together, and press the shoulder blades apart. Beautiful. Sink the hips back down. Child's pose. Arms alongside the legs. Forehead to the mat. Whew. Cool down isn't all fun and games, is it? All right, lift back up. And we're just going to lay down on our backs now. I promise this time, that's all the hard work we'll have to do. So laying on our backs, bend the knees, hug them in towards center. Maybe circle through the knees, massage that lower back out. We have opened ourselves up. Open up through our chest, through our heart. Become more vulnerable with ourselves, with each other. And that's how we foster our connection. Hug the knees back in. Take a deep breath. On the exhale, draw the hips over to the right and lower the knees to the left. You can keep both knees bent here or straighten through the left leg and draw the right knee down with the left hand. Reach the right arm out for a supine twist. Twisting through the soft organs of the belly. Twisting through that mid-back that's done so much work for us today. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Lift back up to center. Hips towards center. Hug both knees in. Sway side to side. And we'll go ahead and do supine twist on the other side. So draw the hips towards the left. Let both knees drop towards the right. You can keep the knees stacked, or for a little more, stretch that right leg long and draw the left knee towards the mat. It does not have to touch. Left arm reaches out towards the left. Supine twist. Twisting through that mid-back, the soft organs of the belly. You can gaze up at the ceiling or towards the right, whatever feels good on your neck here. I always love to end with a nice twist. There's just something about a twist that feels just so detoxing and wonderful, right? One more breath in. And breath out. Moving back towards center. Hug both knees in. Let's move to a seat, so rolling along the spine a few times, nice and slow, gaining momentum until you can roll all the way up to a seat. Stretch the legs out long in front of you. We're going to just end with one seated forward fold. So inhale, arms up toward the ceiling. Gather some length through the spine. Inhale. Exhale, hinging at the hips, fold forward over the legs. You can grab onto the outsides of the feet, or if you can't quite reach, grab your strap, loop it around the feet, or just hold on to the fronts of the legs here, whatever feels natural. Bow the head forward, let the spine round. Soak in all that hard work you've done today. All those beautiful back bends, cracking ourselves open to vulnerability. It might not feel like much, but it is huge. There are so many people out there that are so afraid to be vulnerable that they don't even try. So give yourself props for being vulnerable, for finding connection and community, because that's what yoga is all about. Slowly roll back up, spine long, and lower down onto your back body. Moving towards our final resting pose, Shavasana. So grab whatever props you like, maybe a blanket underneath your head for a little cushion. You can grab your bolster if you have one and just put it underneath the knees like so. This might be wonderful for this class because placing a bolster underneath the knees kind of flattens the low back onto the mat and just gives your back a break. And our backs have done quite a lot today, so feel free. Give your back a break. Let the feet flop out to the sides. Take up as much space with the arms as you'd like. One deep breath all together. And sigh it out. Beautiful. Close the eyes. And we'll stay here in Shavasana for silent meditation for just a few minutes. Without moving just yet, slowly start to deepen the breath in the body. Coming back to the present, back to your mat. Keeping those long and slow breaths. Keeping the eyes closed, just slowly wiggle through the fingers, wiggle through the toes. Move through the arms and the legs. Reach the arms up overhead. Get a full body stretch from the tips of the fingers all the way down to the toes. Bend through both knees, plant the soles of the feet on the mat. Move any props you have out of the way. And slowly roll onto your side, whichever side feels natural. Using the arm as a pillow for your head. Meeting in fetal pose, the pose of rebirth. Take a moment here in fetal pose to thank your body for all the hard work it's done today, because it's worked so hard for you and done so many amazing, beautiful things today. So pick one part of your body and just say, thank you, feet, for keeping me grounded. Thank you, core muscles, for keeping me stable. Thank you, hands, for supporting me in downward dog. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Keeping the eyes closed, slowly press up to a seated position. Meeting in Sukhasana, gentle cross-legged position, hands on knees or thighs, sitting up nice and tall. We'll end our class as usual with one big communal breath, the biggest breath you've taken today. So when you're ready, exhale all the air out of the system. Take a deep inhale all the way to the top. Sip in as much air as you can. And exhale, sigh it out. Press the hands together at heart center and bow forward to seal your practice. Slowly lift the head and blink open the eyes. Thank you so much for joining me for this beautiful class. I hope you felt connected to this beautiful yoga community wherever you are in the world. And if you're looking for a connection, if you're looking for a beautiful yoga community, head on over to my Instagram, Chelsea_Cosette, and comment on my post about this class. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you want to chat about. Let's make this beautiful community together. Thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your day.